Well, I wanted to share my story about the 4 crowns that you redid on my bottom teeth
Yeah, great.
that changed my life. So I had, gosh, this goes back 15 plus years.
Okay.
I chipped a tooth
Mm-hmm.
when I was in my 40s,
Mm-hmm.
one of my bottom front teeth.
Mm-hmm.
Went in to see my doctor. Back then I lived in Everett. And initially it was, well, we can't just replace one tooth. You need a crown.
Mm-hmm.
We'll replace 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the middle of this planning and discussion, they said, well, actually, we actually need to do 4. Okay, fine, let's do 4. And these 4 were the ugliest teeth.
Mm.
I felt, I can still remember the feeling of looking in the mirror. Not only was the color wrong, the shape was wrong, and I wanted to cry because there was nothing I could do about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like they were sticking out of my mouth. That every time I closed my front teeth over my mouth, I could feel my bottom teeth.
Mm-hmm.
So I kept having to go in. They would grind them. They're grinding now the polish off, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the color is completely inconsistent. It ended out that I was so unhappy that they said, fine, we're not going to charge you, because anybody could see by looking at my teeth.
Yeah.
Like when I would smile, that is what my eye would always go to. And so I was, well, like many of your patients, self-conscious about my smile. And that changes your life.
Yeah, it does.
When you don't want to smile, when you don't want to show your teeth, and constantly thinking about how you smile because of your teeth.
Mm-hmm.
When I met you and you asked me, what do you think about, I'm getting emotional now. What do you think about your teeth? And to even talk about my teeth, like to even discuss it with anyone, would just get me, like I'm feeling right now, so upset, because it would take me back to that moment of looking in the mirror and realizing I've made a big mistake. I should have just left that chipped tooth alone.
Right.
And you said, when you're ready, and this is what you always say, when you come in and you explain choices to me, like I have 2 teeth in my mouth right now that at some point will need crowns, and you say, it's not urgent right now, but within the next year or 2, let's do something about these before they become a bigger problem and you need a tooth implant, and who needs an emergency visit to your dentist, right?
Right.
Let's be proactive. So these teeth, you said, when you're ready, we can change this. So the day that I was ready, I came in. It was like a spa experience. That's how I described it to everyone. I came in so relaxed. And I'm one of these people who, when you get a shot of Novocaine, like it wears off really fast on me. Like people with red hair, of course my hair is white now. Some of us metabolize. So that, and you kept me appropriately numb and relaxed to keep my anxiety down, which, would have been sky high had I not been here. And because my trust level was at, it was when my trust level with you, which happened very quickly, was to a point where I felt like I'm in the best hands for somebody to finally fix this issue that has changed my life in the wrong way. So I'm sitting there, and you're coming in and you're talking, and we're having a good time. Your staff is coming in. I'm watching wonderful television programs. Would you like some water? I was so doted on. And again, it did feel like a spa. You reveal the end result of my teeth, and I cried.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
I couldn't wait to show the world. Like, not that I'm the one that noticed mostly, right? Most people don't notice, but in every single picture I would notice. And I just couldn't wait to, like, put me in front of a camera.
Yeah. You're not holding back anymore.
Not holding it back anymore.
Right.
Yeah. And that's what you see when I walk around the office and I see these beautiful pictures, before and after pictures. You're magic with people. It's extraordinary.
Thank you. I love it. Thank you. I appreciate you saying that. Yeah. And especially for someone like yourself who is a professional speaker.
Yeah. Yes.
You know, that, and the lower teeth, especially when,
yes.
you know, when we smile, we're mostly upper teeth, but when we speak, guess what? Those are the lower teeth. That's when you see the lower teeth.
That's right.
So, I mean, if you want to just look in the mirror, what I tell people is, while you're looking in the mirror, say, I don't show my lower teeth when I talk.
Impossible.
Yeah. When I talk, I don't show my lower teeth. And they're always showing their lower teeth.
Of course, yes.
It always gets a lot of laughs, you know, because at least the top 50% of the lower teeth, very few people do not show lower teeth when they talk. Some people don't. Most people do. But so we do a little exercise sometimes, but just to have a little bit of fun. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But someone that is aware of speaking and how they look on camera, like you, is going to be, I mean, that's going to be amplified, right? That's going to have a big impact on you emotionally.
How the light hits your teeth.
Yep. And the emotional
huge.
Effect of that, because you know how much speaking can change, or holding back can change your speaking. And a lot of people aren't as sensitive to that as you are.
Yeah. Right.
And you're teaching that every day. So
I am.
It was such a privilege to meet you. And I've always felt that way. You know, I knew right away that we were going to get along great.